The following is a presentation of the ForceCenter podcast feed.
As Obi-Wan Kenobi once said, hello there, and welcome to Databank Brawl, the podcast where we learn about Star Wars characters, discuss them, share our little feelings about those characters, and then make them fight for our amusement, and hopefully yours as well. I'm your host. My name is Joseph Scrimshaw. With me, as always, is plenty of Ken Napzok and even more whiskey.
Oh, a little sip of the good juice and a good times are coming mantra in my head.
Yeah, they're rolling along. I don't know if that was my best division of how to describe the volumes of you and whiskey. How could there be even more whiskey than you? That's not right.
Wait, yeah, it's all right. But you know, my self-loathing, I just was like, yep, he's right. He's right.
Don't, no. Self-love. This is a place of self-love.
I'm working on it.
Anyway, I can't say anything right for this episode of Databank Brawl. We do have our fun Jedi Whiskey t-shirt. If you're a fan of Databank Brawl, Brian Ward made us a great shirt. You can check that out on our TeePublic site. We have a fun show, was the other thing I was saying in my head, because this is our first episode after the release of Solo: A Star Wars Story. It is time to get into some of these fun weirdos. Now, I will say that the true weirdest of the weirdos aren't yet up on the Star Wars databank. Trust us, we will get to them. We will get to the character that I wanted to be named Vat Weirdo, who is floating in that tank singing. Lulilo Primak is his real name, and oh, he will fight. Yes, he will, as soon as he gets up on that databank. But there are some interesting characters, and we wanted them not only to fight, we wanted to do something a little different and have some fun with these solo fights. So here is what we're going to do, Ken. Here's the plan.
I'm ready.
We're going to have a mini tournament.
Ooh, I love tournaments.
So it'll be 3 episodes. We're going to have this fight, and then there will be a winner. Then we're going to have another fight of 2 characters, and there will be a winner. And then those 2 winners will fight. And we'll have a little bit of build-up. We'll have a little bit of anticipation. It will be so very exciting, I think.
I love what you got cooking up here. This is like a big tournament in Rio de Janeiro to determine the ultimate winner or the first Intercontinental Championship. I love this. I'm on board.
And maybe we'll do that even more for the even more tournament stuff for the real weirdos of Solo. But for now, we've got some cool, fun characters. Got a little bit of weird, but a little bit more prominent in the film. Ooh. So that'll be fun. Are you ready for your first combatant in our mini Solo tournament?
Sip of whiskey. Yeah.
Our first combatant is Ryo Durant.
Ooh, you're going big.
Going pretty big, yeah. I mean, he would be classified as he gets his own poster sometimes and everything.
Figures.
Does he?
I think he's got a Funko Pop. Yep.
Oh, he's got a Funko Pop. All right.
Yep.
Well,
excuse me. Yeah, Funko Pop figure, I should clarify. Not a 3 3 or a 2 1/4 figure. Or whatever,
okay, His head bobbles in the real world. Let's see if it bobbles in our fight. Here is what the StarWars.com databank has to say about Ryo. A diminutive, 4-limbed Ardinian, Ryo Durant is a longtime associate of Tobias Beckett and Val. Ryo is a capable pilot, a skilled tactician, and a lover of good stories. He sees each new scam dreamed up by the Beckett gang as a chance to write a new tale. Fascinating databank entry, because it's some information that maybe got left on the cutting room floor. I mean, or is really extrapolated from that campfire scene where he wants to know what Flyboy's story is. Yeah. But you don't get the sense that he's like writing it down in his journal and then he's going to write some fan fiction about young Han Solo.
Right. All right, so I got him up on the old Wikipedia, and obviously, hey, there's no Legends tab, one of those characters that isn't there. What your description again? Sometimes I miss the little details because I'm looking this up here. Wikipedia. Does it talk about him being part of the Freedom Sons?
No.
So, all right, Rio Durant was a veteran of the Freedom Sons. Now, I think
is that a motorcycle gang? What is it?
It was the ones that kicked Pee-wee Herman out of the bar. No, that was Satan's helpers. Freedom Sons was an independent army that assisted the Galactic Republic during the Clone Wars. And the Ardinian Rio Durant was a veteran of the Freedom Sons. So maybe like a little freelance army.
Okay,
in the Clone Wars.
yeah. He seemed like that. He seemed like that he would do that kind of thing. I love that idea that he loves good stories, and I think one of my favorite lines is, "What is she like? Is she nice? Does she have sharp teeth?" That's a character who loves a good story about nice ladies with sharp teeth.
And is that a Wookiee?
Yeah,
There's one of the better
that's
quotes.
got to be a choice to pronounce. Wookiee.
It has to be.
Yeah. So what do you got?
Knows.
What do you got on? Do you have his stats?
Yeah, a little bit. Ardinian male, like you said. I love that. Ardinian. I love the way he says it too. Like in the movie, he references Ardinian barbecues or something.
Yeah. It's the Minoc roast back on Ardinia.
I died 10 years before the Battle of Yavin. It's interesting. Wikipedia has given this as a solid 10 years before.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Vandor 1, the name of that planet. We knew that. Male, as we know, and height 1.49 meters. Eye color brown, and that's about all. It doesn't really talk too much in detail about his, forearms there and his anything else about
his
him.
high functioning feet.
Yeah.
Clearly he can grab and flick things there with his feet.
Yeah.
Makes him a hell of a pilot.
They do a little editorializing there, although his death seemed to be in vain. And I don't know. It served the story to me. I liked it. I liked Rio. I'm okay with what happened.
Yeah, he is one in a new ongoing tradition of people being shot so someone else can pilot. That happened to Chewie. That's what gets Rey in the co-pilot's chair in Force Awakens.
You're right.
It happens to Rio, and then it happens to Lando, so Han can be in the cockpit. So if you want to be a pilot in Star Wars, just shoot the other pilot, right? There you go.
Weird Star Wars tropes. That is interesting.
It's a new one. That's a new trope. Get him in the cockpit by shooting whoever else is there. Can you give us a physical description? Because even in my mind, I think goggles. But
goggles. I guess he's kind of designed. I looked at the character in the visual dictionary, and he's kind of standing up, and
okay.
He's I don't like Salacious becomes a Kowakian space monkey, right?
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, monkey lizard.
Lizard. He's kind of he reminds me of going to the LA Zoo and seeing one. If I saw one of the monkeys in the zoo flying a spaceship there, he's got that kind of design, which is interesting to me, and the big kind of solid black eyes. And like I said, the four hands with the opposable thumbs.
Oh, yeah.
And he's in, we see him as a Mudtrooper, which is entertaining. But now he's got like a vest kind of thing going on and a good pair of trousers.
Good pair of trousers. Yeah, I was thinking like how Chewie is like he's your loyal, faithful dog who's driving in the car with you.
Yeah.
And this almost seems like a reference to like 70s trucker movies where like, and there's a monkey too.
What's the Clint Eastwood movie that has him with a chimpanzee?
The Unforgiven and a monkey. I don't remember. I know exactly what you're talking about, but you know what?
Come back to us later.
Real world knowledge not in my brain right now because of Star Wars trivia. That's the only thing in my brain is Star Wars trivia. All right, let's get down to it. Did you like this character?
I did like Rio. Yes.
That's right. You're torn.
I'm torn a little bit. I love Favreau. I love Pre Vizsla. Love what Favreau might be doing with the live action series. It just was like straight Favreau's voice.
Yeah.
Not that I needed it to have any kind of weird space accent or anything different. It's Favreau. I get it, and it's entertaining. Like I do like that quote. Like, is that a Wookiee? Like it's all good. There's just something almost too normal about the voice compared to the character, which I think I have a personal issue with. Like Zeb, I've grown to love Zeb on Rebels, but when Steve Bloom does how are you cool? I'm Zeb, and I'm like, what? Really? What? I don't know. So it takes me a while to warm up to that.
Yeah.
That's a me thing. But Rio was entertaining. Rio was funny. Like I do like a lot of the humor in Star Wars that comes from the character's point of view, and this character has a point of view.
Yeah. I think I liked Rio despite any of the various challenges. The fact that he unfortunately passed quickly. Mm-hmm. I like that he was such a shot of energy and positivity.
Yeah.
And like you need that in a movie that could be all about like, oh, life's so hard. It's hard out here in the galaxy. And Val and Beckett have a little bit of that, like rough and ready and seasoned life view, and he's sort of like, roasts, Wookiees. Han, what's your story, buddy? It's just like it's nice to have that little sense of like, life's hard, so let's have fun, guys.
And it's like, you can't tie me down, man. And at the end, like, love's kind of nice.
I should have had someone so didn't die alone. And I had another friend who was like, I got turned off because it's Rocket Raccoon. The voice was too similar to Rocket.
I didn't even think about that, but I could see that.
Yeah.
Not that it was intentional.
No.
I wouldn't think they'd go out and like, well, Rocket seemed to work. But yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the voice could, for some people, turn into, do you like wacky characters?
Yeah.
I'm the wacky character.
Yeah.
But despite all that, his charm and his world wisdom won me over to Rio Durant.
Yeah.
So that is our first combatant. Our second combatant is Mudtrooper. Here is what the StarWars.com databank has to say about Mudtrooper. Formerly known as Imperial Swamp Troopers, Mudtroopers are part of the Imperial Army, whose infantry is gradually being phased out in favor of Stormtroopers. Mudtroopers wear partial armor augmented with respiratory gear in sealed bodysuits for combat in unhealthy environments such as Mimban. Han Solo served as a corporal with the 224th Imperial Armored Division, a new incarnation of the Mud Jumpers of the Clone Wars.
Yeah, and I was glad you mentioned that. That's an interesting connection to the Clone Wars because it's mentioned first in the series, right?
Yeah.
That's Mimban is brought back there, so I like the connection there. And you know I love my weird Imperial toys and mech and armor.
Yeah.
They fall into that for me.
Yeah, so what do you got on the old Wikipedia?
Well, in terms of us, you're not going to find specific measurements, but they talk about members here, and this is what I love. All these names that you and I will one day have to memorize for trivia battles, but includes Han Solo, but also things like Matsio Trudeau, Colum Waslow, Jacoby Sanwright, Gorgie Sandom, Wesgar Odry, Daneth Nodar, Bookret Humphreys, Charlu Greslin, and Gillen, maybe, Finders.
Yes, my favorite Star Wars character, vowel consonants.
Yes, that's some of the members of the 224th, not counting Beckett and Rio and Val.
And those are all just straight up from the guide, right?
That's from the guide there.
Yeah,
That's from the guide there. The blasters, they wield E10 blaster rifles, E11 blaster rifles, and E22 blaster rifles, among other weapons.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so I really like the Mudtroopers. You're a trooper guy. Did you like the Mudtroopers?
Really did. Actually, really did. I love the range troopers as well. That's known because they got those fly leather, fur boots.
Oh yeah,
the magnetic boots in the fur coat.
Got me a range trooper action figure already.
Did you?
Yeah,
I haven't yet.
So good.
I haven't. Because side note, they raised the price of the 6-inch Black Series figures at some retail locations, and I can't afford that. $30 for a figure. The Swamp Troopers, the Mud Troopers, whatever you want to call them. I love the look. I love the. It looks a little like Veers and piloting the AT-AT there. And I love what you're saying, too, that that we're still kind of close to the end of the Republic and the start of the Galactic Empire. And we know that some things were phased out, some quicker than others. So the fact that they have, troops on the ground in this very almost World War I inspired trench warfare setting. I was reading the visual dictionary. There was a lot of things about the 224th and the Mud Jumpers and everything that I was like, oh, this is interesting war over lore stuff that I'm attracted to for whatever weird reasons, and I like it.
Yeah, storied history there. Now, I admit to some confusion in the build-up to Solo. I do like the Mud Troopers a lot, but I also got confused with just a dirty stormtrooper with a cape.
Yes, and they address that, and I know you have the visual dictionary too, and you've probably sat down, but yeah, they addressed that a little bit, that there was this weird, Mud Troopers were kind of allowed to fight along Stormtroopers, and there was probably some hierarchy and some attitudes behind that,
Yeah, because the action figure, and they don't have a ton in the 3 3/4 line that are strictly Solo, but the action figure is not a Mud Trooper, it's a dirty Stormtrooper with a cape, which I also desperately want. But now I think the coolest thing about the Mud Trooper is, like you're saying, that General Veers armor.
Yep.
So that you can get a classic trooper look with those stormtrooper-like eyes, full facial covering, still looks like a trooper, but then when we meet Han Solo, you can see he's in Imperial outfit, but we can see his face. It's not like he's a stormtrooper who has to dramatically take the helmet off. I think that was a really cool design to be like, yeah, it's got a respiratory mask and and goggles. You put them together, traditional Imperial mask.
Right.
But also logical that it would be separated so we can see our hero's face.
Yeah, and you could see Beckett's face and Val's face. And Han can become intrigued by what they're doing and can tell the difference. And yeah, I really liked it. Like if they had, I get the sense that there might have been an extended sequence of the battle on Mimban because we in the visual dictionary, it's got the Mimbanese.
Yeah, we don't get to see the Mimbanese clearly. Yeah. We only just see their cool like fringe jackets flying.
Yeah. And the medics, like there's some stuff with like medics and like maybe there's like, it seems like there might be some extended stuff out there.
Yeah, for sure. Some of those quotes in the visual dictionary, like, nobody said that. Yeah. So looking forward to that deleted scene. But yeah, the overall, the Mudtroopers are cool. And also, I think my final thing that I like about them is that it seems like even within the Empire, they are not valued. It's like, we're going to send you to unhealthy environments and give you, in fact, less armor than normal. Here's a thing you can kind of breathe out of. And it makes sense that if Han had been a problem, he would be kicked down not only to the army, but to the literal muddiest, crappiest place in the army.
Well, it's interesting. All these names listed of the members of this if again, sorry, I keep referring to the visual dictionary. I think I just got it. I actually sat down and read it like a book. Almost everyone listed there, these vowel consonant names, had some kind of disciplinary problem.
Okay, so it is a place for losers.
Yep.
Perfect for Databank Brawl.
It's Bad Company, which is one of my favorite series of video games.
Oh, yeah. All right, so any other thoughts about Mudtroopers? We know there's nothing else going to be in Wikipedia, really.
No.
All right, so that's it then. We got Rio Durant versus a Mudtrooper. Let's fight. Now, as always, I like to do these before the character dies. So we have a choice with Rio Durant in the Mudtrooper. We could tell the possibly canonical story of how Rio stole his Mudtrooper costume that he is wearing poorly, which is also a great triumph of comedy, I think, in the movie. Or we could have a different interaction somewhere along the way, earlier in the Empire's reign.
I didn't even think about
Rio
that.
and the Mudtrooper.
We never like to back ourselves into a corner.
Yeah.
So I would like it to be maybe around the same time frame. Maybe we do answer some questions. I don't want to steer us either way.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But this is where Databank, where I love it, where I have to take extra sip of whiskey because we know the outcome of one of these characters at least, but we're gonna play around with that. But I like it on Mimban.
You know, we got to give some room. So you know what? Because we're doing our tournament, so I'm going to say let's not have it be the time that he got that Mudtrooper costume.
Though that's the story I want.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. I want a whole movie. Yeah, you can hear the angry tweets right now. I want Rio's the solo story on Mimban, 15-minute film. Anyway. So he's got to go somewhere else that's muddy. Maybe this is even before he's teamed up with Beckett and Val, or maybe this is even a side mission when Rio is out to maybe just have a personal adventure. Maybe, I like this, maybe Rio and Beckett and Val just made some actual money. Beckett and Val are taking a little, just like a weekend somewhere nice. And
learning to play the Valachord.
That's right. And Rio is out, I think, to meet. He's going somewhere to meet another Ardinian lady.
Oh wow! Okay,
just because that's who Rio is, right? He's not looking for a wife. He's just looking for a fun weekend with another Ardinian.
Can't hold me down.
Nope.
Is that a Wookiee? I like that a lot. So he's out for now. Is it on Mimban? That's not where you probably go to find any kind of pleasure.
No, I don't think so. I think, you know what? I think we've been into places like this before, but I think he goes to some sort of spa planet.
Oh, we're creating something new here.
Yeah, I think
love
so.
It.
I think let's just call it Spodinium.
Spodinium 2?
Spodinium 2.
Spodinium 2.
Spodinium 2. And I think this is a planet where it is naturally covered in hot, relaxing mud, right?
You took the words out of my mouth. Yes.
And they realize, we can make money off of this. We can make credits.
Oh, yeah. And like the Empire sees it, like there's probably some resources here.
Yeah. So they are, it had been a pleasure planet where, they've got other facilities built up around it. But then you can go down into the mud baths, right? So this is where fancy people used to come, maybe even families used to come. Maybe they have some attractions.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Empire learns that there's some duinium somehow buried underneath
there.
the mud, and they want it.
I love this. Spodinium 2.
Spodinium 2.
So fade in.
Yeah.
I think Rio is in a mud bath getting worked on. And maybe he hasn't met the creature of his desires for this weekend. Maybe
no guarantee that there'd be a Lady Ardinian.
Yeah.
And
yeah. And I think he's getting worked on. Maybe Rub-a-Droid 1 type of, I know that sounds worse than it is. It's not like the pleasure droids we've worked with before.
Right.
This is something new here.
This is a repurposed protocol droid.
Yeah. How about the massage 1 droid?
Massage 1 droid. Yeah. No, I like this. It's like a protocol droid, so it knows the etiquette, but it also knows the muscle groups.
Yes.
And this Massage 1, very pompous name for this droid.
Yes.
But
first of its kind.
Massage 1 is really working the clumps under all 6 limbs, right? Because the way Rio flies, man, that's got to put some stress on those muscles.
I'm cooped up in that pilot's seat all day. I keep telling him, Beckett, you gotta give me a more comfortable chair. Like, this is great, but this is why I'm all this. I got knots.
Mm-hmm. And that's the droid is programmed to know that the one thing that people really want when they're being massaged and in much of life is to have various listening and go on noises. So Massage 1 is just like, oh, yeah. Tell me more.
It's a Dr. Colonia school of, that sounds...
Yes. Oh, yes, for sure. And she digs into a knot, and it hurts so good. Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah. So he's sitting there getting work done there by Massage 1 there. Hey, do you know any place to meet some good Ardinians? I'm looking for some fun this weekend. Any parties tonight? Anything going on?
Unfortunately, the Empire has shut down almost all festivities here on Spodinium 2. They allow us to stay open because many of their Mudtroopers are very poorly armored. They sent all Mudtroopers here because this is a mud planet. And they're all very sore, too. I'm sure as soon as you are done, my next appointment will be here any moment.
And that's when there's a knock on the door.
Yeah.
And Mudtrooper Bobex Voldoon enters in.
Yeah.
Gear still on.
Oh, yeah. He's got it all on, right?
Bobex Voldoon comes in there, and he is very upset to find someone on the massage table. Now, he is 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
But he doesn't care. He's a arrogant, pompous Imperial Mudtrooper.
That's right.
The 224th has a legacy that stretches back to the glory days of the Galactic Empire. So, he's upset.
Yeah, so I think Bobex raises his goggles. Mm-hmm. He's like, "What is that creature doing in my seat?"
Yeah.
And I think Rio is a creature who tries to find the positive. So I think he responds in some kind of positive way, right, Ken?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, man, wait your turn. This is great, though. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. She's as strong as a Wookiee. You're going to love it. Just wait your turn, okay?
You know what? Here's the thing. I am with the Empire, and the Empire does currently have jurisdiction over this mud planet, and we don't wait. I have been waiting all day to get out of that mud so I can get into this mud. That's the highest glory of my life, buddy. And I think Rio becomes entranced, and I think he asks about Bobex Voldoon's story, since he likes stories.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, you seem to really like mud. I don't know about you. If I was fighting mud all day, I'd want to go to like a water planet. Try Scarif or something. Get in the oceans over there. Savarine's got a lot of oceans. You ever been there? Sand and water. That's what it would be for me if I was you. I don't understand. Why do you like the mud?
And he pulls out his blaster. And he walks very slowly over. And he pushes Massage 1 out of the way. And he sticks his E10, because he's not even good enough for an E11.
No.
He sticks his E10 right under Ryo's chin. And he, with his other hand, he grabs Ryo's little vest that he's wearing.
Still, just the vest part. Yeah.
Just the vest, nothing else.
Yeah.
And pulls him close, like, Scarif, huh? Yeah. I was stationed on Scarif.
Oh,
you know what?
Spot, yeah.
You know what? Have you ever heard of Savarinian pudding? You know how they make the best brandy? They also make the best pudding. And my commanding officer had some brought to Scarif. Scarif's a great job. He's having some pudding, enjoying it, thinking, I got the best job in the Empire. Stood up too fast, ran into my commanding officer, spilled pudding all over him. Commanding officer says, oh, I guess you like mud. Bam. I was a Mudtrooper.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. I guess you can say, I like mud. Now get out of my bath, space monkey.
Wow, I must have hit a real sore point there. Sorry, Scarif's a good. Detail sounds like you losed it. Personally, I don't like rules. I don't like following bosses, man. I work for myself. All right, I have a couple friends, but, I'm here for myself this weekend, and you're really dampening my vibe.
And the blaster comes in and clocks him in the head.
Boom.
Right?
Oh.
This cranky Mudtrooper is not going to take lip.
So I think Rio, actually, odd enough, I think he passes out a little bit.
Oh, right.
Comes to. We don't know how long. Here, follow me.
Okay,
This might be our first time jump on Databank Brawl. Comes to. He is out of the mud, on the ground, dazed, looks up, and the Mudtrooper is getting work done by Massage 1. The Mudtrooper just wanted his spot, knocked him out, took him out, tossed him out.
Just tossed him to the side, not even all the way out of this little mud cabana.
And Rio comes to and is upset.
Yeah. And I think he begins to tell this Mudtrooper about all the things that he's going to do to him.
Yeah.
And I think he starts telling him a story of what would happen to a guy like him on Ardinia.
Yeah.
And I think this is all a distraction. Rio begins to rant and rave. One of his hands grabs a mud brush, like this really hard thing that's to really get the mud out of the fingernails.
Yeah, especially for non-humanoid creatures in here.
Yeah. And while he's distracting Bobex with this story of violence on Ardinia, traditional Ardinian violence.
Yeah.
He tosses this.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes hurling through the air. So give me a little bit of what Rio's going on about.
All right, look, let me tell you something, bud. I have rules. I like rules. We can work together here. The galaxy's a big place. You want to be in mud? I want to be in mud. I want to get rubbed down. You want to get rubbed down. That's fine. We can work on some stuff here. It's all right. Fling, throws the brush.
Yeah, bang, right in the face.
Yeah.
Now, I think the Mudtrooper has, much like Rio, has taken some of his stuff off, but not all of it. I think he's still got that big armored chest on.
Yes.
I think he's still got the gas mask hanging down. And the goggles on top. He's still got the helmet.
Yeah.
But I think Rio's a good shot, and I think the brush hits him square in his exposed eye.
Oh, absolutely.
Bo says, damn it.
My eye, man. I need that to miss when I fire. Now I'm going to be less accurate. I think he jumps up. And I will say he's got some Imperial issued briefs on. We're not going to have
there's no
Eastern Promises nude fight here. He jumps up and hand-to-hands combat begins.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. And I think Massage 1 is like, please do not fight. I have protocol. I can install a third or fourth arm and rub you both simultaneously. And I think, the Mudtrooper jumps up, huge globs of mud in his hands, and he tosses them at Rio to distract him. Splash, splash, he hits him, and then he's just on top of him, but I think this was unwise. I think he's jumped on Rio. I think he's managed to get his 2 humanoid hands around Rio's throat. That leaves Rio up to 6 limbs to work with.
Yeah, he's got the advantage of the feet. So I think the 2 arms and the feet reach up, and he's strong. Rio seems strong. Not as strong as a Wookiee, but he's strong. And I think he flips Bobek over.
Okay.
Bobek's over, and now into the mud.
Okay, they're back in the mud.
Yeah,
right.
back in the mud.
Sploosh.
Bobex is facing up, right? And that's when Rio jumps on him, gets an advantage, and with all 4 of his hands and his feet, starts pushing him into the mud as if he's going to suffocate and choke him in the mud bath.
Yeah.
And it's slow.
Like
Saving Private Ryan slow.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
And he's like, now, tell you what, tell me the closest person to you in your life, and I'm going to send them a message and let them know that you died, but you died drowning in pudding, which you love. Do you want to drown in the pudding, mud boy?
Yes, I'm going to send your widow a corsage of pudding.
In the Mudtrooper, poor Bobex, he did just enlist, and he is not being a nice person, but the Empire will drive the kindness out of you, and he had his great job, and now he has to deal with the irony of drowning in literal mud, which he cannot allow. So I think he does something shockingly clever for an Imperial Mudtrooper. I think he pretends that he is dying.
Oh, okay.
I think that he has been defeated.
Been defeated.
Because look, he's a Mudtrooper. He's swallowed mud before. He's probably ate mud just to survive.
We used to grill it just for fun.
You ever been to a Mudtrooper mud roast?
Sounds great. Not like a Minoc. It's not like a Minoc roast in Ardinia. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he
plays possum.
He bubbles. He knows how to, you know what? He plays mud like just a master. He knows how to get it just up his nose and in his mouth just enough to make it go bloop, 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 and he flails his limbs, and then they go and as soon as Rio starts to step off of him, he grabs, his hands come flying out. They crack on either side of Rio's head. That huge ringing sound, and he shoves Rio into the mud. Okay. But that is enough, not even enough for him. Now Rio's naked bottom is sticking out of the mud, flailing, his legs kicking, trying to find Bobex, and Bobex is getting hit and a little bit off of his guard, but he starts to grab random massage tools. Okay. There are the various wooden implements that are used to grind in.
Space grinders,
Yeah, I think she does. She has a weird suction device that can get mud out of sensitive hair. So he turns that on, and he's like hitting him with a weird suction device and banging him with a stick, and he is just going
fighting for his life.
Bobex is now just screaming, just like, I am not a mud person. I may have to be a mud trooper, but that's not who I am. I will not die in the mud. I will live in the sun somehow. Oh God. He's losing it. Yeah.
He's losing it. And I think he succeeds in holding off. Rio can't get a good grip now as he's pushing him into the mud. He's losing his grip. And I think Rio needs to reposition himself.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe put on some shorts. So he jumps out.
Okay, so you think that he manages to just use the strength of his limbs? How does he get out of this?
Rio? Yeah. I think he's able to brace himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then maybe with his feet does some kicking.
I like that. I think we could even say he reaches up with his back feet and grabs onto the front armor.
Yes.
And uses it to flip himself up. Oh, this mud room is now a huge mess. It is splattered with mud and Ardinian sweat.
And Massage 1 is still there going, oh my.
If you could just, all right, I will begin to towel.
This is against protocol. Let me call for a cleaning service.
Yeah. And I think Massage One is definitely giving some thought to calling Security One at this point. I mean, I know they're under Imperial jurisdiction, but still. Oh, yeah. So I think Ryo manages to flip himself out, and then I think that there is this brief flurry of amazing hand-to-hand combat where Ryo has wrestled a wood stick away, and they're cracking wood sticks together and throwing various implements and pockets of mud at each other. And I think Ryo gets a hold of the goggles and pulls them back and just cartoon-like snaps them into Bobex's face. Bobex gets a hit into Ryo's ribs, and it seems like maybe they're a little evenly matched on just straight hand-to-hand combat when neither's choking in the mud. So I think it's a good time to pause and decide who we think should win this combat.
I mean, you know, the easy answer is Ryo, and that still might be the answer.
Yeah.
I have an odd sympathy for Mudtrooper, Bobex Voldoon here, because I think he had a good gig. Yeah. He got in trouble for something that might not have been his thing, and he just was a, Imperial soldier trying to make his way in the galaxy, and then now this happens there, and he just wanted to relax. But I also believe, in a little bit of personal responsibility, he was angry, he was arrogant, he was pushy, he did something wrong up top. So I think Ryo was just there for pleasure, didn't want to bother anybody, and I don't think Ryo deserves to lose.
Yeah, I gotta give this one to Ryo. Sometimes we spin a narrative where the underdog these are two underdogs, really.
They are.
But sometimes we manage to spin a narrative that changes our own mind, but unfortunately for Bobex Voldoon, not this time. I don't think he should die. I don't think he needs to die. I don't think Ryo needs to murder him.
No.
But I think Ryo needs to win, and I think Ryo needs to get a good story out of it since he collects stories.
Yeah, he does. So I think at one point there's a little weird standoff. They both reach in at the same time, grab mud, and fling it at each other.
Yeah.
And hit each other in the eyes. So they're both blinded by the mud.
A tribute to the prowess of Bobex, because, I mean, he's dealing with a creature with multiple limbs.
Yes.
Many more limbs to throw mud.
Yes. So I think they both stumble around. Massage One is there. And then I think they both probably have their personal gear there, right? To the side.
Yeah.
I think they both reach for blasters.
Oh, right.
Pull the blasters up blindly to fire.
Oh, no.
And both hit Massage One as she jumps in the middle to say, no blasters, please, no blasters.
She explodes, as we know protocol droids do when they're shot. Yeah. And I think Massage One's head cracks into Bobex's head. And his stuff is all fallen off at this point. Mm-hmm. And I think her forelimbs shatter, but both of her arms and her legs all shatter and come flying at Ryo. But Ryo, in what is, I think, going to turn the tide, knows the advantage of limbs.
Yes.
He catches all of her limbs. And he becomes just a spinning tornado of limb-related violence.
Oh, yeah. He's like Grievous without the lightsabers.
Yeah, exactly. And suddenly those hands and even, Massage One even has massaging feet. Yeah, that it's specialized massaging feet.
Odd looking, but
the protocol droid toes for walking on different creatures' backs.
Right.
Yep. So they are things that are meant to bring joy, bring just horrible devastation and pain to Bobex Voldoon. And I think Ryo narrates that he is becoming a creature of full of limbs and full of death.
Man, look at this. I got to tell you what, man. If I was had one of these in a fight, I'd never lose any situation. I could get me some extra droid arms. I wonder if L3 can do that. She'd probably be against that. That's a shame. I haven't even met L3 this time, so I don't even know why I mentioned that. I saw into the future. I don't know. Things are happening so fast here. I don't even know. You know what would be great? Like a droid with 4 arms. I bet I can make that happen. I'd like a droid like that. I should get a droid like that. Oh, is this hurting you? Maybe you shouldn't have jumped in my spot. What do you think you are? A Wookiee?
And after this flurry of thought and a flurry of remembering various droids he's heard of and met and hopes to meet in the future, he stops, panting. Like, seriously, I asked you a question. Yeah. And Bobex cannot answer. Yeah. Because he has been battered to a point of being unconscious.
Yeah.
And all of his Mudtrooper gear has been battered away, and he is just there in his Imperial issue briefs, which are just tighty-whities with the Imperial logo on the front and the back.
Yes.
So you can never forget
those.
who owns these briefs.
Yeah.
These are Sheev Palpatine's briefs,
Add
ultimately.
the card. Add the card.
You are wearing them right now, but they belong to Sheev Palpatine. And Rio is almost...
Unlimited comfort and support.
And I think Rio is maybe a little... He feels a little bad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he meant to take him out, but this is just a bruised, bloody mess.
Right. Rio's got to
live. Yeah. He'll live, but... And then suddenly he hears from the corner, wow, that was extremely violent.
Impressive.
Very, very impressive. If you ever looking for non-mercenary type work, I think you would be very good as a masseuse here on Spodinium 2. Also, please help me.
Help me.
Help me.
So I think Rio takes upon his heart, and he does grab Massage One
Yeah.
as best he can with all the parts. He knows maybe he doesn't have the skills to put them back together, but I think he leaves with Massage One with the intention of rebuilding her.
He makes a sack out of some of the various equipment, and he's gonna carry the Massage One on his back back to his ship, but he's all ready to go. He looks back and he sees the still unconscious Mudtrooper Bobex Voldoon.
Yeah,
and he thinks about this story and how Bobex told him a story and how much trouble he'll be in if he's just found mostly nude.
Yeah.
How much worse his life will be. So Rio sighs.
Yeah.
He drags the unconscious Mudtrooper. And he has to sneak because there are other Mudtroopers around.
Right, on breaks and whatnot.
He drags him to the local cantina where Rio knows the person working there.
Okay.
It's Wu Hair's brother, Boo Hair.
Boo Hair.
And he drags him.
Yeah.
And in his mind, Rio has made up this story that he shares with Boo Hair. He's like, can you store him here in the back room?
Yeah.
And then when his other troopers find him, I got this great story. And Rio's concocted this amazing story about how some rebels attacked the cantina.
Right.
And only Bobex bravely stood up against them. Even when they stole his equipment, he still fought. He chased them off single-handedly.
Yeah.
And really deserves a promotion.
Absolutely. That's what he tells Boo Hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just tell him he fought good, and he's the only one. He's a good guy. Maybe you should get him off the Mud Planet. Send him back to Scarif. He deserves it, Bear. Or maybe I hear they're doing some stuff over on Endor. Maybe he can be over there. They're looking at that planet for something. I don't know. Seems pretty big, but I think he'd want to work there.
And I think Boo Hair accepts this. And I think Rio goes back to his ship. He steals... He puts her back together, but he just steals Massage One.
Right.
Because he's damn sore after this adventure. And I think he just rockets off into space with another story, never knowing what truly happens to Mudtrooper Bobex Voldoon.
End scene, but he comes back up, lands with Beckett and Val. Some of maybe the other team members we didn't know back in the day. And it's like, look what I got. We got a massage droid. Have you ever had a massage on Spodinium 2? Well, you're going to have one now, except for it's going to come to you. The planet will come to you. This droid's got skills.
Most violent mud bath you could ever want on Spodinium 2. And scene, right? Another very exciting adventure, another very violent adventure, but I like that it's about stories.
Yes.
It's about connection. What's your story? Rio wants to know. And now Rio has survived, so he will live to fight again. And maybe he'll go up against an even more dastardly combatant than someone who has been put in the lowest level of the Imperial Army.
Yeah. Love it.
Excellent. Ken, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Ken Napzok across all social media platforms and maybe, just maybe, looking for Spodinium 2 in real life.
That is right. You can check out our merch where we'll be selling Imperial Briefs. No, that's not true. If there are characters that you want to see fight in general, please know that we'll be grabbing as many solo ones as we want, but characters from across the spectrum, let us know with the hashtag Databank Brawl. We always like to thank Tony Thaxton for our theme music. You can check out his Patreon for more Star Wars music. Just go to patreon.com and search for Tony Thaxton. You can, of course, go to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/ForceCenter. You can check out that Jedi Whiskey Jedi shirt at tpublic.com/user/ForceCenter. And, of course, you can find all of our episodes of Databank Brawl on YouTube as well. For myself, you can check out my podcast, Obsessed. You can find it anywhere podcasts are listened to, but you can also go to my website, josephscrimshaw.com. Today's episode features Ken talking about Robotech, his obsession with Robotech, so check that out. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram is at Joseph Scrimshaw. You can like ForceCenter on Facebook and follow us on Twitter is at ForceCenterPod. And until next time, as Luke Skywalker once said, well, no one was really listening to him. I care. That's it for Databank Brawl.